Hey everyone, Andrew back again, and I'm actually back with a top 10 list. Yes, it's been a while. So today I decided to talk about my top 10 slasher films that I want 88 Films to release on their Slasher Classics collection range. They've been absolutely killing it lately, but it's never enough for me. When it comes to slashers, I want them all on Blu-ray. So hopefully I get lucky and someone from 88 Films comes across this video, gets some ideas and puts some of these, if not all of them, hopefully onto Blu-ray. There was one rule that I did put in place for this video, and that was the movies that I show were not allowed to have a Blu-ray release elsewhere, so from another company, either current or out of print. But I've come away with some pretty awesome titles, and for the most part I think all of these titles would fit really well in their slasher collection range. So without further ado, let's get into it. So sitting at number 10, I'd love them to release Night School. I think this is pretty suitable for their line, to be honest. It's never actually had an official DVD release as far as I know, because this is one of the Warner Brother Burn on Demand discs. This is a really awesome one. I love the setting, and yeah, I just think this is one that they definitely need to put out. So that's number 10. Number 9, we have the amazing Alone in the Dark, and I know this is a fan favourite with Jack Palance and of course Donald Pleasence. This is an awesome one, always been a massive fan of it, about escaped mental patients who terrorise a family. And yeah, this is just a really good one that definitely needs to be put out. So that's number 9. Number 8 is what I consider to be really underrated, and that's American Gothic. This one's awesome, and it's kind of unique within the genre too. It's basically about a group of people who get stranded on an island. Their plane breaks down and they come across this very strange family. That's all I'm going to say on that, but it is a good one. So yeah, that's number 8. Next up we have number 7, and this is a more popular one amongst this list, I guess, but I still think it would fit well within their slasher collection line, and that of course is April Fool's Day. I know a lot of people really want to see this one onto Blu-ray, and for good reason, because it's a great movie. It has Amy Steele in it, and she's one of my favourite scream queens. She played Ginny in Friday the 13th Part 2, but all around this one has a really good cast. It has a few well-known actors from other 80s movies, and it's just a really fun movie. It's got a great twist to it, so yeah, really would love to see this one on Blu-ray. Number 6 is Slaughter High, and I was kind of debating whether to put this on the list because I've heard pretty strong rumours that Vestron Video plan to release this one onto Blu-ray sometime later this year, which should be great, but to be completely honest, I'd much rather have an 88 Films release of it. I think this one would go well within the collection. This has always been one of my absolute favourites, especially from a theme song standpoint. The theme song in this film is fantastic, and as far as I know, it's the only slasher movie to have an official theme song, which is pretty cool. The kills in this are nice and varied. They're absolutely amazing. There's some really memorable kills in this, and I love the killer. It's a revenge style slasher, and it's always been one of my favourites. Okay, and sitting at number 5 we have Offerings. This is a late 80s slasher, and it's kind of a Halloween ripoff, but I've always had a soft spot for it. I think it's really good. Pretty obscure. It's probably one of the more obscure ones from this list, so with that I think it would fit perfectly within their slasher line. I'm not really too sure how many DVD releases this one has actually had. This is one of the UK DVDs and it's not that good, so yeah, this would be perfect for 88 Films to put out. So that's Offerings. Number 4 is Calipari, and to any of you who have been following my slasher collection and some of my other videos where I've talked about movies I want to see hit Blu-ray, probably no surprise to see this one once again. This is an absolutely fantastic slasher, and I think the only reason that it's so sort of underrated is the fact that I don't think it's ever had an official release. This is another burn-on-demand disc from Warner Archives like Night School, but this one is awesome. It's kind of a unique slasher, and essentially it's 2 films rolled into one. I'm not really going to say too much, but yeah, this one is amazing and definitely needs an 88 Films Blu-ray. Another one that I've mentioned plenty of times, Nightmare Beach, also known as Welcome to Spring Break. This has had a few different releases worldwide, and this one is extremely underrated, and I have no idea why, because this is damn good. Especially from a character standpoint, the characters are really, really good in this one. It has a pretty good story, and the killer is very, very unique. The killer rides a motorbike, and all the kills basically center around the bike, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, would love to see this one on the Slasher Collection range. Another one, or sorry, sitting at number 2 is another one that I think would absolutely fit right into the Slasher Collection lineup, and that is Evil Laugh. This one is very, very obscure. This one is pure 80s. It's awesome. I love it. Like Nightmare Beach or Welcome to Spring Break, this one has a really good array of characters. There's one character in particular that's always stood out to me in this movie, and that is the horror-obsessed character. There's some nice little nods to other horror movies, stuff like Friday the 13th and all that. There's some nice nods to that throughout. It's super cheesy, and yeah, this is just really, really good, and I think it'd be a perfect fit in 88 Films lineup. And last but certainly not least, at number 1 we have Fatal Games. Out of the list, this is probably the one that I think is most deserving to be put out by 88 Films. It's very, very similar to Graduation Day, which is one reason why I think it would fit perfectly in their line. It's fairly obscure, which is another good reason, but more importantly, this has never, as far as I know, had an official disc-based release. This is a DVD bootleg, and this movie is great. If you're a fan of Graduation Day, I think you'll love this. In fact, I actually like it a lot more than Graduation Day, so yeah, I think this is a perfect movie for the Slasher Collection range from 88 Films. Okay, so there you have it. That was my top 10 most wanted 80s slasher movies for 88 Films to put out on their Slasher Classics collection range. I think all of these movies would be a perfect fit amongst their already growing slasher line. So we have Night School, Alone in the Dark, American Gothic, April Fool's Day, Slaughter High, which I think Vestron are releasing, but I'd rather 88 Films do it. Offerings, Calipari, Nightmare Beach or Welcome to Spring Break, Evil Laugh, and then last but not least, Fatal Games. So yeah, hopefully someone from 88 Films watches this and manages to convince everyone working for them to put all these out on Blu-ray. Highly doubtful all of them will be put out from 88 Films, but if we can get 1 or 2 of these released from 88 Films, I'll be pretty happy. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this top 10 list, and if you want me to start doing more top 10 lists again, let me know in the comments section below. I have a few ideas for future top 10 videos. But yeah, hopefully everyone's enjoyed this video. Let me know what your top 10 slasher flicks would be that you'd want to see 88 films put out, and thank you for watching.